things we provide, like coaching services, but we also have found that when you launch a space like this in a community like Monticello, it becomes a hub for other activities and organizations to show up into. So you can access the University of Iowa's Metro School through the Innovation Lab. That's an 8-week accelerator program to help you launch a new business. You can also join something called Empower Her, which is a group, a network of women entrepreneurs who meet in our spaces on a regular basis. Lots of times state and other county programs will land in our innovation labs to help businesses and nonprofits and other organizations grow in that community. So start thinking about how the space can be a hub for something you might be working on. So that's the second thing is that hub and those services. And the third thing that we do is innovation services. So we, as Jordan said, we help existing companies continue to grow. Existing companies run into challenges, they need to find solutions for new opportunities. That could be a better way to deliver a service. It could be a new way or a new product that they're trying to design. It could just be a better way, like we work with Hodge companies out of Dubuque. We work with them a lot on HR activity and helping them attract and retain talented people for their organization. We've also worked in Iowa, in Clarinda, Iowa, with a school district where we help them create a better reading curriculum with their faculty and community members and even students using our innovation process to design better ways to teach kids to read. So the process is very flexible and it's very adaptable to the kind of challenges that you might be facing as a company, as a nonprofit organization, a local government, even on a community level where we can help communities vision and think together. So those are the things that we do and we deliver through the Innovation Lab, and hopefully you'll start to learn more about those and talk to us when you think that we can work together on something. I look forward to working with all of you, and again, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks, Eric. If any of those things sound interesting and you're like, oh, where could I find more about that? Innovationlab.us is the Innovation Lab's website, and it has a good overview of all the different co-working plans, all of the different services and programs that are associated with that, and then also our Innovation Works innovation process. So that's a good place to find those. If you're wondering, well, what's this Creative Adventure Lab thing that Jordan keeps talking about? It's hands-on experiences for youth and families. CreativeAdventureLab.org is the website for that. You can see all the things that we're currently doing in Dubuque, and we'll start to preview some of the things that we will do here, which some will be the same, some will be different than what we're doing in Dubuque. We're trying to make this its own unique location so that both people that know and love us in Dubuque can come here, but also so that people from throughout this region really see this as a destination for themselves and their families. I want to say thank you to some people that are here today that represent elected officials and government programs. So first of all, I want to say thank you to our team from USDA. They were a big, critical part of this support. So thank you for coming today. We have representatives from Congresswoman Hinson's office, Senator Grassley's office, and Senator Ernst's office. We've got Dave, the mayor, here in Monticello. Dave, where are you at? All right, there he is. All right, thank you for coming. We've got various members of the Jones County Board of Supervisors and City Council. We really appreciate all the support that you've given us so far to be able to be here, getting this facility up and running. That's just the first step, right? The real fun part comes now that these facilities are up and we're starting to provide programs and services here in the community, in the county. That's what we get really excited about. That's what makes us tick on a daily basis. And that's the work that as a nonprofit organization we're focused on. The construction, while flashy, is really the least important part of this work. But is a very important part. And you can't have construction on a building like this in Monticello without the Welter family making the decision to take this vacant building and donate it to this purpose. So thank you guys for making this happen. We really appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. All right, we've got a number of other partners who have contributed time, effort, and energy energy, and funding resources to help make this project possible. We've got what helped us kick this thing off from the very beginning was a key partner. Before any of these things even existed, all of this was just an idea where we were asking ourselves the question, how can we help rural communities foster innovation and entrepreneurship? And we thought we had an answer to that question that could work, and we started telling our partners about that answer. And we were lucky enough to have two really key partners who, before any of this even existed, say, well, we want to help you do that. And not only did they say we want to help you do that, they put their money where their mouth was. And so one of those partners is the Iowa Economic Development Authority. They contributed significant and critical funding to help get this idea off the ground. They've continued to work with us on this project and these pilot locations to help test these ideas. But another really key partner was DePaco Community Credit Union. And they've been a partner from the very beginning, and you couldn't ask for a better partner. They have really said, we think that idea has merit. We know we have members who live in these communities that aren't easily accessing our products and services, and so we want to help you make these things happen. And I want to recognize the DePaco team. There's a number of them in the room today. So thank you, DePaco, for believing in this vision before it was even a thing. And I want to turn it over really briefly to Chief Marketing Officer Dave Heyer to talk about why they chose to partner with IdeaBlend.
Thank you, Jordan. Dave Clovetter with DePaco.
Oh my gosh.
That's all right, Dave.
Different day.
I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. I moved away. My wife and I started having kids, and we looked at moving back to Dubuque, the Midwest, and this place called Creative Adventure Lab was bubbling in Dubuque. So it was a unique differentiator for our family in creating a quality of life for our kids. And my wife then works remotely for a company on the East Coast that takes advantage of the co-working spaces of these areas. So congratulations for your insight and foresight to creating a competitive community. I mean, this is amazing, an amazing differentiator for somebody wanting to live or make a life here, to come to this place. Hats off, the Welter family and everybody else who worked hard to make this happen. So congratulations. Our credit union role in this, we're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. We're about helping people improve their economic and social condition. We do that through education. We do that through programming, products, and services. So what we do in these spaces is align with the mission with Creative Venture Lab and provide content, hands-on materials, learning, education to bring people up. This is a gathering space where we can meet people where they are. So that's why it folds well very nicely with DePaco. We provide business services as well and that advice to help them get started. Our CEO, Joe Hearn, is here today. Joe, give him a quick wave.
It's about the power of partnership and collaboration, and Dave's more eloquent than I am, so I let him.
Thanks, Chief. We've got Mark McCoy, Melissa King, I've got Benjamin Drury, Aaron Engler, all here where we meet people where they are. So thank you, congratulations. Jordan, back to you.
Thanks, Dave. Clovetter. You get to know me long enough, you'll realize that I am not a perfect person, and I do indeed make mistakes. News to my team, I'm sure. Thank you for your grace. All right, so a couple other partners that I want to just recognize who are really instrumental in specifically making this location a possibility. In addition to DePaco and Iowa Economic Development Authority, obviously the City of Monticello and Jones County Economic Development Authority really embraced this idea and helped us overcome a number of challenges along the way. You don't do a project like this without obstacles and roadblocks that pop up. Even, from taking everything that was stored in the basement and helping us clear that out. I think it ended up being 6 full 30-yard containers of refuse that got hauled out of this place. And speaking of the basement, we're not using the basement yet. And we don't necessarily have a plan for the basement, but what we're hoping, it's a really great space. It's just as big as this space, and it's got 10-foot ceilings. And while it's not as polished as this part of the building yet, it has so much potential. And so we're hoping that we can partner with a community group or a community organization or community business and house some positive community building activities in the lower level of this building too, to really make sure that this entire building is activated for the continued growth and positive impact for the community of Monticello. So if you or someone you know has ideas for what could live in the basement of this building, we'd love to hear it. And we'll probably introduce all of you to our innovation services by doing a complimentary innovation session around what could be possible in the basement and how do we make that possible for the community. I also want to thank USDA Rural Development, of course, all of the great tables and chairs and desks that you can use while you're here. They helped provide that through allocating the USDA Community Facilities Program dollars that they have, investing that here in Monticello. So thank you very much for that. And then I also want to thank Alliant Energy, who aren't here today, but when you come back this summer for the grand opening of this Creative Adventure Lab side of the building, we will have a huge area over here with over 1,000 pounds of Legos, and they are making that part of it possible. Shameless commercial. If you, your family, your business, or your organization would like to help us make the rest of these youth and family activities possible, we have sponsorships for that. We are a community-driven nonprofit. Everything we do is because of the partners who believe in our work. Okay? And so our work only exists because of the partners who contribute their time, energy, and funding resources to make this possible. Just to give you an example, in Dubuque, we have a thing called our Play Freely project, where every Sunday we waive the $10 per child regular admission price, and we offer complimentary admission, because we know that there are families in every community that $10 per child is a high bar to afford. And so we want to make sure that our activities are available to everyone who has a desire to grow their creativity and do it in a playful way. We have more than a dozen sponsors in Dubuque, businesses, families, individuals, who help us make that Play Freely project a reality. All of last year was our first year doing that. I think Rachel helped me out here. We had about 1,200 receive free admission through that program. Already in 2022, though, we're just a quarter in, we've already got about that same number who have benefited from that program this year. And so we know that the Play Freely project is a thing that makes a difference in families' lives. And so if you or anyone you know want to help us do that here in Monticello, we're planning on doing it anyway, but it takes a village, as they say. You can help support Play Freely project for as little as $20 a month. So we really, it's not just for rich people. It's for anyone who wants to help youth and families have access to creativity building experiences. Enough of the commercials though, because the last really important stakeholder that I want to thank is all of you. We don't exist without people who are interested in what we're doing, who see themselves visiting, using office space, bringing their family and friends to paint pottery or play with Legos or have a birthday party. And so the fact that you're here today shows that you, at least at some level, understand the importance of what we're doing and are willing to take the time and energy to find out more. And that's all we could ask. So I want to say thank you. And I'm going to give you guys a chance to grab food, beverages, and then Eric is going to meet anyone that's interested over across that aisle there on the other side of the building in the Innovation Lab for a quick tour of what that space is and kind of some of the programs and services that he talked about, where those actually are located in that space. But again, thank you so much for coming today. We're so excited to be here, and thank you to everyone in this room.